People forget 3 shoulder movements that will help heal a rotator cuff tear. When people are looking to rehab from a rotator cuff tear, these are all the tendons of the rotator cuff right here and the muscles on the shoulder blade. But people always think about the arm bone right here. This is the top of the arm bone. They want to rotate it and move it around. But there's 3 big movements that the shoulder blade can do so that we can help the rotator cuff heal. Let me show you what I mean. Go ahead and turn around here. I'm going to draw the position of the socket and the ball on the shoulder, because when you think about the socket, it's part of the shoulder blade. So it would be about right here on his body, and then the ball is going to be about right here with the arm bone coming down, and that's at this resting position because it changes whenever we're reaching up overhead and doing different motions. And the first motion that I want to show you of those 3 that people forget all the time, we're thinking about the shoulder blade. Go ahead and reach up overhead. See, when he reaches up overhead, it's no longer at the side, this arm bone. Now the position that it's going to be in is going to be overhead. So the arm bone is going to be here, the ball is going to be here, and the socket is now in about this position right here. By shrugging your shoulder up, there you go. By shrugging the shoulder up and getting the ball to stack on the socket side right here, then you're achieving this position. And because we're bipedal, we're humans, we stand on 2 legs and we have arms to do stuff with our arms, you need to be able to stack weight this way. And the rotator cuff muscles are just there to stabilize. You're using a bunch of other muscles, especially the upper trap muscles, to fully shrug up and get that shoulder blade in the highest position that you can get for the health of your rotator cuff. Let's see how this looks in an exercise. Grab those weights for me right there, and then face the wall where the sign is. Perfect, just like that. And when you're reaching up overhead to do an overhead press, go ahead and do some reps here. I'll tell you when to stop. Every single time he's coming up, he needs to shrug and involve these upper traps so that you get that shoulder blade to move all the way up and get that arm bone to stack. This is a critical motion that needs to be done, and it's always forgotten. What people do instead, let's show them the way people forget, is they don't shrug and they just bring the arms up without the shrug. Shoulder blade stays on the side right here, down. They don't shrug up, and they'll keep the socket side just facing the side, but they're moving the arm bone up and down, and so they're doing a lot of motion right here, which overstresses the rotator cuff tendons and the muscles. We don't want to do that. Let's do a shrug so that you can get your shoulder blade involved. The second motion is what we call protraction in the medical field, but all that means is pushing your shoulder blades forward on your rib cage or on your body, on your chest. And so the way this looks in a chest press or bench press or even like a push-up exercise, any sort of press motion where you're pushing forward, go ahead and do some reps here. You're going to push your shoulder blades all the way forward, because when you do that, you're moving your shoulder blade into this position, which means your socket starts from the outside. Go ahead and rest down. It starts more out here. Then when you push up and you roll your shoulder blade forward, the socket now faces more this direction, which allows the arm bone and the ball to rest onto the socket and stack better. This is desirable so that you don't overstress the rotator cuff tendons and the muscles, and you're not putting a lot of excessive force through that poor ball and socket joint. So do some reps here. You're going to let your shoulder blades relax, and then when you push up, really push those shoulder blades forward to not put too much stress to the rotator cuff muscles and tendons. And then what people typically do wrong is they don't think about their shoulder blades, so just keep the shoulder blades down. They'll even be coached to pinch your shoulder blades together and not let them go forward, and that forces a lot of excessive motion through your rotator cuff tendons and muscles and through the joint. It sets you up for rotator cuff tears, labrum tears, biceps tendon problems. You can fix all that by letting your shoulder blade move forward all the way. Let's show it right, like that. In the last movement, we call it retraction, and it's when you pinch your shoulder blade all the way back, and it's best done with row exercises like this. Now, the starting position for this is you do have to let your arm dangle downwards, and so that means that the socket is going to be kind of facing forward like this, like what you would be doing with the chest press with the ball going about in that direction. And then when you go ahead and pull back, now the socket's going to be more backwards facing, and then your arm bone is going to be more back facing too, but you've moved your shoulder blade here, which moves the socket backwards, so you're keeping the tension off your rotator cuff tendons. So go ahead and do some reps. some correct reps. You're pinching your shoulder blade back every single time, and you should be feeling the muscles between your spine and your shoulder blade on that side working best. Now, what people often do is don't move their shoulder blade all the way back, so do that, and they're just thinking about moving the arm bone back without the shoulder blade, and that puts a lot of tension through the ball and socket joint here, which makes the rotator cuff muscles work too hard, and that can lead to a rotator cuff tendon tear. So you want to make sure to move that shoulder blade all the way forward and all the way back every single time. Those are the three big motions that are often forgotten, especially with exercises like chest press, overhead presses, and rows. But these motions need to be put into your everyday motions, and also the in-between motions, because it's not just reaching forward and up and back, but what about all the in-between motions? So let's show that real quick. Face me this way. And if you're reaching up, but at this angle, go ahead and reach that. You should be moving your shoulder blade all the way in this direction. And then if you're reaching kind of a little higher up, but still forward, just think always move your shoulder blade in the direction your hand is going. We call this the rule of the hand, which means wherever your hand goes, your shoulder blade should follow. You need to think about doing this while you're doing laundry, while you're cooking a meal, while you're getting ready for the day, while you're operating a vehicle, while you're at work. In all your everyday motions, you should be considering the rule of the hand so that you move your shoulder blade properly, because that offloads your rotator cuff tendon. Now, if you think about all the motions you do with your arms throughout the day, and if you have had a rotator cuff tear, or you're dealing with one right now that you're recovering from, then mastering the rule of the hand is going to pay dividends for you. It's going to be super beneficial for you to make sure that you're not putting excessive tension through your rotator cuff. Hey, if you want more help with your rotator cuff tendon tear, I recommend checking out this video. It's called Brutally Honest Advice to Heal a Rotator Cuff Tear and Avoid Surgery. Go check it out for more help.